The Miami Dolphins seems like going into the week, big game. Mike McDaniel versus Bill Belichick, young versus old, and the young prevailed against all the odds if you were to ask the media. But we've been talking about this for a while here. Miami has looked really, really good this offseason. They seem like they've gotten it all together, all the pieces. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Tua. This is going to be a lethal attack, and they were as good as advertised, in my opinion. They came out, they executed the game plan to perfection, and, as for an early season game, Miami looked good. But before I throw it over to you, Nick, and you're going to give into the little bit of a story that we have on Miami fans, there's a lot of great spots on this team, but we want to know, who was your MVP of the game? Let us know who you thought the MVP of the game was in the comments below. And Nick, what do you got on the Miami Dolphins?
So if you had asked Tyreek Hill who the MVP of the game was, he would probably name his head coach, Mike McDaniel. And he had some interesting comments on that actually after the game. So the New York Post, this is from the New York Post, facing a 4th down and 7 at the New England's 42-yard line, McDaniel called for a pass play, resulting in a touchdown that extended Miami's lead. Hill said this after the game. I'm quoting Tyreek Hill directly here. Quote, McDaniel's going to need a wheelbarrow for his nuts to carry them around. He's got a lot of cojones, unquote. So obviously, Miles, this is kind of a funny comment talking about the guts that Mike McDaniel has and the belief he has in this team. And I want to talk about this for a second because I have done a number of videos, McDaniel, obviously supporting Tua, coaching up Tyreek Hill gassing up Tua, Tyreek Hill supporting McDaniel. And I think one of the things that we saw here, right, and that play really jumped out a lot for me for 2 reasons. One, we've been talking a lot about what McDaniel has done about putting belief in this team and belief in Tua and belief in how good they can actually be. And when you have that belief, you have to give your players a chance to go out and execute. That 4th down and 7 at the 40-yard line, they're up 10-0. If they get stopped there, maybe the Patriots get a field goal. Just the entire flow of the game is completely different. Obviously, they scored a Waddle, and it just completely turns the game 100% in their favor. The Patriots never really got close after that. So the belief plays a huge role. But what do I always talk about what coaches can do during a game that really most people don't really talk about too much? They can tilt the field a little bit in their favor. And Dolphins fans will remember that 4th down play to Waddle. What was that? Waddle lined up in the slot and then just ran a 10-yard slant. And Tua, like he did throughout his entire career in Alabama, in time, on rhythm, just threw a slant perfectly that Waddle got to catch in stride and get yards after catch, obviously slipping past the Patriots defenders for a touchdown. So it not only was belief in his players to execute, he then tilted the field in their favor by calling a play that played to Waddle's and Tua's strength. That is elite level head coaching by Mike McDaniel, and that's why he bested Bill Belichick getting his first career win. What are your thoughts on everything with McDaniel and the Dolphins after this impressive Week 1 victory?
So Nick, pivoting back to the comment, when I hear that comment, it brings 2 things to mind. One is the actual comment itself. I kind of think of the South Park episode where Randy Marsh puts his nuts in the microwave to get cancer so he can get the medical marijuana. He's carrying around in the wheelbarrow the whole time. But 2, when I think of the play, when I think of going for it on 4th down, this reminds me of John Harbaugh and Lamar Jackson. On a crucial 4th down play, Harbaugh looks at Lamar a few years ago and he goes, "Hey, do you want to go for it?" And Lamar, famously goes, "Hell yeah, coach, let's go for it." And they run back on the field and they go for it, and obviously they convert, end up winning the game. And what I saw in that moment was a coach's belief in his player. And that's what I see in McDaniel and Tua in this team. Everybody believes in everybody at this point in time.
Yep.
And I think that is huge. I don't think anyone has ever had that as far as Tua before. And even to the aspect of Tyreek Hill. Sometimes people thought Tyreek Hill, all he could do was run fast, blow over the top. Maybe he couldn't be a true number 1 guy. But he's here. He's doing it. Tua is doing it. Jalen Waddle is doing it. And Mike McDaniel is doing it. Everybody is doing what they need to do, and they all believe in each other. And I think that is a crucial part of why this game plan is working, don't you think?
Oh, 100%, no doubt. Like I said, that belief and just that involvement, that true spirited core behind the team plays just a huge role in it. But one thing I want to bring about Tua, and a lot of people have been critical of Tua. Tua can now officially be called the Bill Belichick destroyer because according to NFL research, they put out this tweet. Tua is now 4-0 against the Patriots in his career. He's the only quarterback to remain undefeated in at least 4 starts against New England in the Bill Belichick era. So whatever you want to say about Tua, it is official now. The best defensive coach of all time, and probably the best coach maybe of just all around of all time, and Bill Belichick. Tua is undefeated, 4-0 against him. That's a big accomplishment in of itself right there. And all of this is coming together for Miami as we're seeing a shift in the division, right? Obviously, Buffalo's the big dog, but I think we're seeing Miami really trend up here, right? And I think they're kind of moving into that number 2 position in that division. And the way they're going right now, they could potentially even threaten Buffalo.
Yeah, and I think there's like maybe 2 other quarterbacks, not 4 games, but I think like Jake Plummer maybe had like 3 games where he's undefeated against Belichick. And I wanted to say, I can't remember, and this seems crazy, but I think it was like maybe, I don't know. This definitely is right. So I definitely remember Jake Plummer being one of them. So, but that's crazy that Tua, a young, notably young quarterback, goes 4-0 against Belichick, who's, historically been incredibly good at confusing young play callers. Young quarterbacks out there on the field, very deceptive, and his defensive scheming against young guys. But Tua is able to prevail 4 out of 4 times so far, so that's a pretty good track record to me. But I like what is going on here in Miami, and I want to say this. This is what I got out of the game. Obviously, the Bills are a very, very impressive team, but I think Miami has just put themselves up there as potentially the second-tier contender for this division. Obviously, you got to get past Buffalo, but I think Miami is squarely the guy that is trying to compete with Buffalo right now. No one else is on their level in this division at this point in time. Not the Jets, not the Patriots. It's Miami and Buffalo, and they're going neck and neck. And I truly think if you give Miami a little bit of time to put everything together and run even more smoothly, they can give Buffalo a run for their money. And as good as Buffalo looks right now, that's pretty high praise, and that's a pretty big deal for Miami.